Last question I want to ask before adjournment. We've seen cryptocurrency values collapse by some $2 trillion and markets crash over the past few weeks. Consumers losing money, workers losing jobs. The Monetary Policy Report highlighted the risks of stable coins, digital assets that aim to maintain a stable value in order to trade cryptocurrencies. Talk for a moment, if you would, about the financial stability and monetary policy risks that these assets pose, and how are stablecoins different? In your answer, include how stablecoins are different from the U.S. dollar, which has the full faith and credit of the United States behind it.
A stablecoin is an instrument really that is backed up. There's a reserve that has securities in it that are meant to assure the value of that, of let's say it's a dollar stable coin. So it's meant to assure that your interest is actually worth $1. So that sounds a lot like a money market fund, for example. And the way money market funds work is there's great transparency about what's in the reserve and their requirements about what must be in the reserve in order to preserve that $1 value. The world of stable coins is new and emerging, and it doesn't have the sort of fit-for-purpose regulatory scheme that it needs to. And I think that's something you've been hearing a lot across the board from a number of federal agencies and from our own Treasury Department, which has been leading an effort to try to put in place. And many members of Congress now have proposed new frameworks for regulating stablecoins and digital assets generally, and that seems like a wise thing.
And you don't... Clearly SEC, clearly CFPB, other agencies, the Fed's role in regulation of cryptocurrency, in your mind, is what? Well,
that's one of the issues, is who really does have authority over this, and that's something Congress would need to clarify. We have authority over what banks can and can't do, some banks and bank holding companies. The SEC has some jurisdiction over securities. The CFTC has relevant jurisdiction. So part of this will be sorting out, deciding what these things are and how they should be regulated. There are stable coins that are really used in connection with the crypto trading platforms. That's most of what happens now with stable coins. But there are also some stable coins and even more potentially that will be used in payments broadly. So that would be two different kinds of regulation there. It's just an area where Congress Congress is investing bandwidth and looking at proposals and something like, and that's I think a healthy process that should lead over time to something that has bipartisan support and puts in place appropriate regulation for the whole area.
Let me drill down for then my last question. What if Congress doesn't act on? I understand that the Commodities Future Trading Commission understand what you said about SEC. Is the Fed directly involved in any of these regulatory actions regarding cryptocurrency, absent Congress action?
We regulate banks, regulate and supervise banks, and so we have a say in what our banks, the Federal Reserve regulated banks and bank holding companies do with crypto assets on their balance sheets, what activities are permitted and that kind of thing.
Does that
of course,
suggest,
the OCC is at that table, and so is the FDIC.
Does that suggest that a number of American banks are cautious because of your oversight of them on crypto?
I mean, American banks are are now very much exploring, are there profitable opportunities to serve our customers in this new space? And of course, what we're doing is saying, let's be sure that takes place in a way that preserves and supports safety and soundness. And we've had a ongoing set of meetings and collaborations with the FDIC and the OCC, and that's ongoing, I guess, between us and the OCC. So I think that's an appropriate way to carry it forward. But it's not a substitute for what I think is it's not like it's like any other major area of innovation. Ultimately, Congress will come together to create a regulatory framework that is more fit for purpose for it, as it has in so many other cases.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Chair Powell. Look forward to continue working together. For senators who wish to submit questions, those questions are due 1 week from today, Wednesday.